Hey guys, what is up? Mislav here, and today I wanted to talk to you about installing Linux. We are going to cover some of the things which you should understand when installing Linux. So, honestly, I don't think there's a lot of things you should know when installing Linux. Basically, the installation is relatively straightforward and you don't really need to know a lot of stuff, but there are certain things that trip people up. Okay, and one of those things is how to set up your partitions. And the other thing is how much swap should you have. And if you're unfamiliar with those terms, basically swap is a piece of your permanent storage device that is used if you run out of RAM. So as we discussed in the previous videos, all of your programs need to be stored in the RAM, random access memory. And if your computer runs out of random access memory, it uses swap to store some of the programs there. And it's, this is the basic idea. Of course, it's more complicated. But if you are wondering how much swap should you use or what partitions should you set up, basically partitions are subdivisions of your entire hard drive, then you should definitely check out the links I will have in the references. And the reason why I'm using Mozilla Firefox today instead of the usual drawing program that I use is because I actually wanted to give you an alternative to installing Linux on your machine and overriding your existing operating system. So if you do not want to really erase your existing operating system and you would like to follow along this tutorial series sort of in a safe virtual environment, well, then virtual environment is exactly what you need. So you should type in how to install Linux on a virtual machine. And basically, a virtual machine, if you have never been acquainted with that term, is just sort of like a computer within a computer. Basically, it simulates a computer. So you have literally a virtual computer inside your computer. And this yielded some results, and its FOSS is definitely a great Linux blog. It's been on the market for a very long time. I don't think they're selling anything. I'm not really sure, but they've been around for a long time. That's what I meant to say. And so definitely, I think that this video would be something to watch. Or also, you could just see the other search results. And again, its FOSS is here. So when you are browsing through the internet, when you're looking for tutorials, definitely its FOSS is one of the better websites. When I was constructing this series and I wasn't sure in some things and I was Googling around, its FOSS is definitely one of the legitimate resources here. Okay, so basically, you have this article and you would just follow along the instructions. You also have the video and you could install Linux on your virtual machine. And again, so you would have Windows. Within Windows, you would have a virtual machine, and that virtual machine would have Linux installed. But just for you to note before I actually end this video is that when I was starting out with Linux, I really could not learn it until I completely switched to Linux. This is something to note because I think for some people, they can learn it. They can first learn it in a virtual machine and they can fully switch to Linux. But this wasn't the case for me. I really needed to completely switch my operating system to Linux in order to truly immerse myself in it, in order to truly learn it. And if you're scared, if you want to fully immerse yourself and you don't want to start off with a virtual machine, but you want to bring up a new operating system on your computer, well, that is install a new operating system on your computer. Well, in that case, I would just make sure to back up all of your important data, which means copy all of your important data to some USB or to some CD, DVD, external hard drive or whatever, and make sure it is backed up, which means that it's not only on your local machine, but somewhere else, as I just explained. And even if you mess something up when you're installing Linux, that's going to be completely fine. Okay, because you will not lose the data. And by the way, if you want to install Linux, I just kind of realized I haven't told you what to do, you can actually just Google whatever distribution you have. So let's say that I have Debian, and I can literally type in Debian installation instructions, press enter, and I mistyped it, so I press here, and I can just follow the installation guide. Now the installation guide is probably fairly long. We can see here that it has a lot of sections, so this is just a section list. But if you find something that's not really understandable to you, you can look at the particular section. However, most of the time you're just pressing next, 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 I agree, next, and usually don't mangle around with some options. Usually you should leave the options to default, because default options are usually what you need. Okay, so definitely feel free to check out the resources below for more information of swap space, how much you should allocate for it, and some other thing. I just kind of forgot what it was. What did I put in? Yeah, how to choose. Yeah, partitions. Okay, so swap and partitions. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's pretty much it for this video. I hope you liked it, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. And I use video and tutorial interchangeably. And see you in the next tutorial. Talk soon.